In a world that trembles at the slightest pressure, you must become the one force that stays calm when everyone else collapses. Power begins in silence. Strength begins in stillness. When you master your inner temperature, you master every battlefield you step into. The loud crumble first, the quiet outthink them. So listen carefully. Your calm is not softness, it is strategy. Your sharpness is not aggression, it is awareness sharpened like a blade hidden under your cloak. And your dangerousness, your ability to strike when necessary without hesitation, is born from discipline, not chaos. People lose control because they react. You will control every situation because you respond with intention. While others panic, you analyze. While others speak, you observe. While others break, you adapt. This is how Machiavellian power truly works. You remain steady while the world shakes. From today forward, you walk differently, think differently, breathe differently. You do not chase control, you become control. Comment below, I move with calm power. Number 2. Controlling the inner temperature. Power isn't built in public. It's forged inside you, in the unseen hours where you sharpen your mind and discipline your emotions until nothing external can shake you. Most people walk through life like open windows. Every gust of noise, drama, or insult blows straight into them. They get offended easily, provoked quickly, and destabilized by the smallest pressure. You, however, are becoming sealed from the inside. Your emotions are no longer invitations for others to manipulate. Your reactions are no longer predictable patterns for others to exploit. When you master the art of staying calm, sharp, and dangerous, you create an aura that makes people think twice before approaching you with nonsense. Calmness is your shield, sharpness is your weapon, and danger is the truth they sense but cannot decode. When someone tries to provoke you, you no longer give them the satisfaction of seeing your temperature rise. You give them silence instead, silence that burns deeper than anger ever could. When someone tries to trick you, you don't argue, you observe, calculate, and wait for the perfect moment to respond with precision. When life throws chaos at your feet, you don't drown in it. You stand still long enough to see the pattern in the storm. Machiavelli understood this. The person who remains calm sees more, understands more, and chooses better. The person who stays sharp never gets blindsided. The person who becomes dangerous rarely needs to show force at all because their presence alone signals consequences. You are entering that level. You are learning to slow your breathing under pressure, to think clearly while others overreact, to maintain your inner authority even when the world tries to pull you into emotional traps. This is the psychology of becoming untouchable. This is the mindset that makes you unpredictable, unshakable, and unreadable. Comment below, I command my inner power. Number 3. The power of slow thinking in fast moments. Most people believe power is loud, fast, and impulsive. They think the strongest person is the one who reacts the quickest. But true power, Machiavellian power, is the ability to slow your mind down when the world is speeding up. When pressure hits, weak minds panic, strong minds calculate. In the moments when others lose clarity, you step into a higher level of awareness that feels almost supernatural. You observe details they overlook, patterns they miss, intentions they fail to see. This is what makes you sharp. This is what makes you dangerous. Your thinking becomes a weapon, measured, cold, strategic. When someone tries to rush you into decisions, you protect your time. When someone tries to provoke you, you protect your peace. When someone tries to manipulate you, you protect your judgment. You refuse to be dragged into emotional urgency. You refuse to be tricked into reacting before understanding. You refuse to let people pull you out of your power. Instead, you slow down your thoughts, breathe once, and let your calmness slice through the chaos like a blade. This gives you the advantage every single time, because while your opponent is drowning in their own emotional noise, you are quietly positioning yourself in a way they never saw coming. Machiavelli taught that a prince must always appear composed, even when his enemies are plotting around him. Calmness confuses them, sharpness blinds them. Your dangerous self-control breaks their rhythm, and once someone can't read your rhythm, they can't predict your moves, they can't anticipate your strength, they can't control your outcome. This is how you stay ahead, not by being faster, but by being clearer. not by being aggressive, but by being calculated, not by being emotional, but by being intentional. Slow thinking in fast moments is your secret edge, your silent dominance, your psychological armor. Comment below. My mind stays sharp. Number 4. Becoming the eye of the storm. Powerful people are not the ones who stand outside chaos. They are the ones who stand in the middle of it without breaking. To become calm, sharp, and dangerous in every situation, you must train yourself to operate like the eye of a storm, still at the center, untouched by the winds that destroy everything around you. This is where your authority is born. Anyone can be composed when life is easy, but only the rare few can stay controlled when tension rises, when betrayal appears, when uncertainty shakes the ground beneath them. That's when your mindset separates you from the masses. You begin to see chaos as information, not intimidation. When others are overwhelmed by emotion, you watch quietly and notice who panics first, who reveals their weaknesses, who speaks too soon, who loses discipline under pressure. This is your advantage. Chaos exposes people, but it strengthens you. Every situation becomes a battlefield of psychology, and you are the one fighter who refuses to swing blindly. You let the storm spin around you while you remain anchored in your inner authority. People feel this. They sense something unexplainable about you, an aura that intimidates without effort. Your presence becomes heavier, colder, harder to influence. When a conflict arises, you speak only when absolutely necessary. When a challenge confronts you, you confront it with analysis, not emotion. When someone attempts to provoke you, you let their energy die in your silence. This is not weakness. This is strategy. Because the quiet man in the middle of chaos is always the most dangerous one in the room. He knows what's happening. He sees what others don't. He reacts only with intention. Machiavelli wrote that unpredictability is one of the greatest weapons a powerful person can wield. Your calmness makes you unreadable. Your sharpness makes you untouchable. Your dangerousness makes you unforgettable. You are no longer part of the storm. You are above it, studying it, using it, controlling the pace of everything around you. This is how you dominate without shouting, win without fighting, and influence without begging. Comment below. I am the eye of the storm. Number 5. The strategic silence that commands respect. There is a kind of silence that weak men fear and strong men master. It is the silence that comes not from insecurity, but from deliberate control. When you choose silence, you choose power. You choose to hold your thoughts instead of spilling them. You choose to protect your intentions instead of displaying them. You choose to study the battlefield before stepping into it. Most people speak because they're uncomfortable with stillness. They reveal themselves because they need validation. They talk excessively because their emotions are in control, not their mind. But you are evolving past that. You are training yourself to speak only with purpose, to act only with clarity, and to move only when the timing benefits you. Your silence becomes a psychological weapon, one that makes people question what you know, what you think, and what you might do next. It creates tension without effort, authority without aggression. When others complain, you listen. When they expose their weaknesses, you store the information. When they assume your silence is ignorance, you let them underestimate you because their mistake becomes your opening. Strategic silence makes you the most unpredictable person in any room, and unpredictability forces respect. But silence is not about being mute. It's about being selective. You know when to withhold your reaction, when to speak with precision, and when to use your words like pressure points. Even your short sentences carry weight. This is what Machiavelli meant when he said a leader must be both fox and lion. The fox listens, watches, and calculates, while the lion strikes with timing that demands dominance. By mastering silence, you master both. Silence sharpens your intuition. You begin to sense people's real motives behind their polite words. You notice their tone, their micro-expressions, their hidden insecurities. You see their fears before they see them themselves. And because you're calm, you don't react emotionally, you react intentionally. That makes you dangerous. People realize they cannot easily provoke you, manipulate you, or extract information from you. Your silence becomes the barrier that protects your power. Your calmness becomes the shield that blocks emotional attacks. Your sharpness becomes the blade that cuts through deception. And your dangerous aura becomes the presence that forces others to treat you differently. Not because you asked, but because you earned it through discipline. You speak less, but your silence says more. You react less, but your decisions hit harder. You reveal less, but your presence tells them everything. You are not someone to play with. Comment below, my silence is power. Number 6, the mind that sees through people. There is a level of psychological strength that only a few ever reach, a level where you stop reacting to people's words and start reading their intentions. When you stay calm, sharp, and quietly dangerous, you unlock a higher form of perception that cuts through the masks people wear. Most individuals walk through life blind, fooled by flattery, manipulated by emotions, and distracted by noise. They listen to what people say instead of analyzing why they say it. They trust easily, reveal quickly, and fall into traps designed by those who understand human weakness. But you are no longer part of that crowd. You are evolving into someone who sees motives before they surface, who notices contradictions in tone and behavior, who detects insecurity under confidence and deception under kindness. This is the psychological radar that Machiavelli hinted at. The ability to read human nature as a map of patterns, fears, desires, and hidden vulnerabilities. When someone enters a room, you don't just see their appearance, you see their posture, their levels of confidence, the tension in their voice, the way their eyes move when questioned. You observe the details that reveal who they really are. A person who smiles too much is hiding something. A person who speaks too loudly is compensating for weakness. A person who criticizes others constantly is broadcasting their insecurity. A person who rushes you wants control. A person who overshares wants validation. A person who stays quiet but watches everything is either a threat or a student of power like you. This is the advantage of calm perception. You notice what the emotional crowd never sees. And when you combine this perception with mental sharpness, you become someone who cannot be fooled easily. You understand that people reveal their character in small ways long before they reveal it in big betrayals. The same way a crack forms in a wall long before the building collapses. You stop expecting honesty from dishonest people, loyalty from unloyal people, or consistency from unstable people. Instead, you watch, you analyze, you prepare. When someone lies, you don't correct them. You let them tie the rope tighter. When someone undermines you, you don't argue, you observe their insecurity. When someone tests you, you don't respond emotionally. You show them that your stability cannot be shaken. This is dangerous to those who rely on manipulation because they can no longer predict your reactions or penetrate your calmness. They sense they're dealing with someone different, someone they can't read, can't destabilize, and can't control. Your presence becomes their discomfort. Your quietness becomes their confusion. Your insight becomes their fear. And because you see through people so easily, you make decisions with precision. You choose who gets access to you based on merit, not emotion. You don't waste your energy on people who drain you, confuse you, or weaken you. You invest only in those who add strength to your path. This selective detachment gives you control over your environment. It keeps your circle small but powerful. It keeps your mind protected. It keeps your progress unstoppable. And most importantly, it keeps you dangerous, not because you threaten anyone, but because you understand everyone. This is the psychological advantage that separates leaders from followers, strategists from amateurs, and powerful minds from emotional minds. You are stepping into that upper class of thinkers now. Comment below. I see through everything. Number 7. The discipline of emotional control. There is a reason emotionally controlled people rise above everyone else. It is because the world is ruled by emotion, and most people are prisoners to theirs. They get offended at shadows, angered by rumors, hurt by assumptions, and destabilized by anything that challenges their ego. They react before thinking, speak before understanding, and break before adapting. But you are stepping into a different category of human, one that refuses to let emotions rule the kingdom of your mind. Emotional control is not about feeling nothing. It is about deciding which emotions deserve your energy and which ones must be starved until they die out. When someone insults you, your ego stays silent while your mind observes. When someone tries to provoke you, your discipline shields you from reacting. When someone betrays you, your emotions burn quietly while your strategy awakens. This is how power is built. You do not collapse under the weight of feeling. You channel it, shape it, weaponize it. You understand that your emotions are tools, not dictators. Anger becomes fuel, not chaos. Fear becomes awareness, not paralysis. Pain becomes wisdom, not weakness. This is what separates the calm from the careless, the sharp from the shallow, the dangerous from the easily manipulated. Machiavelli warned that people who cannot control themselves will always be controlled by others, and he was right. The moment someone can trigger you emotionally, they own you. They can push you into mistakes, lure you into traps, and cloud your judgment until you act against your own interests. But when you control your inner climate, no one can push you off balance. They can shout, you remain steady. They can lie, you remain analytical. They can test your patience, you remain unshaken. Your emotional control turns you into something rare. A person who does not bend, does not break, and does not fall for emotional bait. This is terrifying to those who depend on chaos to dominate others. They cannot predict a calm mind. They cannot manipulate a sharp mind. They cannot handle a dangerous mind. You become unreadable, unreactive, and ungovernable. People sense this energy before you speak. It radiates from your posture, your silence, your eye contact, your breathing. They see a person who is not moved by pressure or panic, but guided by intention and clarity. This level of emotional strength gives you a frightening advantage on every battlefield: business, relationships, social dynamics, conflicts, negotiations, even everyday interactions. When someone expects aggression and receives calmness, they lose their script. When someone expects weakness and receives silence, they lose confidence. When someone expects emotional chaos and receives focused clarity, they lose control of the interaction entirely. Your emotional discipline makes you the most stable person in unstable moments, and stability is dominance. Through this discipline, you begin to understand a powerful truth. Not everyone deserves a reaction, and not every situation deserves your energy. You choose your battles carefully. You choose your responses intentionally. You choose your emotional investments wisely. Most people spread their emotions thin. You concentrate yours like a laser. And because of this, you move through life with a kind of elegance and strength that cannot be faked. You become unstoppable not because you fight harder than others, but because you remain calmer than others. And calmness, when paired with sharpness and danger, becomes something close to invincibility. Comment below, my emotions obey me. Number 8. The power of unbreakable presence. There is a kind of presence that enters a room long before you speak, long before you move, long before anyone knows your name. It is the presence of someone who is fully in control of themselves, calm in the face of pressure, sharp in the presence of deception, and quietly dangerous in a world filled with noise. This presence is not an accident. It is built through discipline, forged through self-awareness, and strengthened through thousands of moments where you chose control over chaos, strategy over emotion, silence over impulsiveness. When you cultivate this kind of presence, people feel it instantly. They sense an energy that is steady, unshaken, and almost intimidating. They hesitate before approaching you. They measure their words carefully around you. They treat you with a respect they don't even understand. Why? Because your presence signals something rare, someone who is not driven by insecurity, desperation, or fear, but by intention, clarity, and inner power. You do not seek validation, you give direction. You do not beg for attention, your composure commands it. You do not raise your voice, your silence raises the tension in the room. And this is exactly what Machiavelli understood. The strongest people do not need to announce themselves. Their presence does the work for them. Your unbreakable presence comes from mastering your emotions, controlling your reactions, and understanding human behavior with clinical precision. When someone tries to provoke you, you remain unreadable. When someone tries to manipulate you, you remain unshakable. When someone tries to intimidate you, you remain unimpressed. Your calmness sends a message. You do not fear conflict. You simply refuse to waste energy on unnecessary battles. Your sharpness sends another message. You see through intentions, not words. And your dangerous aura sends the final message. Crossing you has consequences, even if you never speak them out loud. This kind of presence shifts the dynamics of every interaction. People start treating you like someone who matters. They listen more when you speak. They watch more when you move. They question themselves before questioning you. Your presence becomes a psychological advantage, a silent form of power that bends the environment in your favor. And the best part, you don't even need to try. You simply show up as yourself, disciplined, controlled, strategic. Unbreakable presence is not loud, it is heavy. It is not aggressive, it is composed. It is not emotional, it is intentional. It comes from years of refusing to be ruled by impulses, from filtering who has access to your energy, from distancing yourself from weak minds, and from constantly sharpening your awareness. Your presence becomes a mirror that exposes other people's insecurities. Those who are fake feel threatened. Those who are manipulative feel powerless. Those who are weak feel unstable. And those who are strong feel respect. This is why staying calm, sharp, and dangerous is not just a mindset, it is a transformation. You stop being someone who responds to the world, and you become someone the world responds to. You stop being affected by other people's emotions, and you start affecting their behavior simply by existing in the same space. This is the level of psychological power you are stepping into. A presence that cannot be broken, shaken, or controlled. A presence that leaves an imprint. A presence that signals, I am not here to compete. I am here to dominate my space through discipline. Comment below, my presence is unbreakable. Number 9. The calculated mind that always stays ahead. There comes a point in your evolution where you no longer live moment to moment like everyone else. Instead of reacting to life, you anticipate it. Instead of being controlled by events, you position yourself before they unfold. This is the power of a calculated mind, one that sees the battlefield not as it is, but as it will become. When you stay calm, sharp, and quietly dangerous, you unlock a rare form of foresight that most people will never develop. While they are blinded by emotion, urgency, or fear, you are studying patterns, reading the room, and predicting outcomes with almost surgical precision. You begin to understand that nothing is random. People act in predictable loops. Situations repeat themselves. Weaknesses surface in cycles. Opportunities appear when pressure exposes the cracks in other people's discipline. The calculated mind sees these things before anyone else, and that is why it wins consistently, not through luck, but through foresight. Machiavelli understood that power belongs to the one who prepares before the challenge arrives, not the one who reacts after it begins. And you are stepping into that exact level of strategic thinking. You analyze people based on their tendencies, not their words. You evaluate situations based on their trajectory, not their appearance. You plan several moves ahead while others are still wondering what's happening. You understand intentions before actions, consequences before decisions, and risks before chaos unfolds. This is what makes you dangerous. You are never caught off guard. People who rely on manipulation find that their tricks no longer work on you. People who move with hidden agendas discover that you saw the pattern long before they made their move. People who try to drag you into drama realize you predicted the trap before it was even set. The calculated mind uses calmness as fuel and sharpness as armor. When pressure rises, instead of losing yourself in emotion, you become hyper-aware of everything. Tone shifts, behavioral inconsistencies, energy changes, psychological cracks. These small signals guide you like signposts. They tell you who is truthful, who is insecure, who is pretending, who is desperate, and who is dangerous. And because you see what others don't, you move with an advantage they can't understand. You protect your time from people who drain it. You protect your energy from situations that don't deserve it. You protect your future by avoiding traps disguised as opportunities. You stop taking unnecessary risks and start taking strategic ones. You stop letting life happen to you and start happening to life. And as you move deeper into this evolution, you realize something powerful. People who cannot predict their own behavior will never predict yours. People who cannot control their emotions will never control your outcomes. People who cannot think ahead will never understand your silence, your patience, your calmness, or your timing. This is where your danger becomes undeniable. Not because you threaten anyone, but because you move like a person who already knows the end of the story. You walk with intention. You speak with purpose. You strike with precision. You stay ahead, not by luck, but by calculation. Calm, sharp, silent, and always 5 steps in front of the world. Comment below. My mind stays ahead. Number 10. The final form of power. Calm, sharp, and dangerous. There is a final stage in your evolution, a point where everything you have built, your calmness, your sharpness, your emotional discipline, your presence, your foresight, merges into one unstoppable force. This is the stage where you no longer chase power. You become power. You move through the world with a kind of quiet dominance that cannot be explained, only felt. People sense it when you walk into a room. They feel it when you look at them. They recognize it when they try to test you and fail. You are no longer the person who reacts emotionally, who gets baited into chaos, who wastes energy on nonsense. You have become the person who chooses their battles with precision, who speaks with intention, who acts with calculated purpose, who remains calm no matter how loud the world becomes. This calm is not softness, it is your armor. It keeps you stable when others collapse. It allows you to think clearly under pressure, to make decisions from strength instead of fear, to stay grounded even when life becomes unpredictable. And this sharpness, your mental clarity, your strategic thinking, your ability to read people and situations with ruthless accuracy, it becomes your sword. It slices through deception, exposes lies, and reveals opportunities that ordinary minds fail to notice. But your dangerousness, this is where the real transformation happens. Being dangerous doesn't mean being violent or cruel. It means having the capacity for power while choosing to remain composed. It means being capable of reacting forcefully, but disciplined enough to rarely need to. It means that people cannot manipulate you, cannot provoke you, cannot control you because you have mastered yourself at the deepest level. Machiavelli taught that true power belongs to those who govern themselves, not those who govern others through fear. You are becoming the type of person who doesn't need to raise their voice to command respect, who doesn't need to prove anything to gain authority, who doesn't need validation because your self-belief is unshakable. Your presence alone becomes your statement. Your silence becomes your advantage. Your discipline becomes your shield. Your awareness becomes your compass. Your emotional control becomes your fortress. And your strategic mind becomes the engine that guides your success. You have built a level of inner power that cannot be bought, faked, or borrowed. It is earned, it is forged, it is lived. You now understand that every situation, conflict, pressure, betrayal, opportunity is simply another arena where your calmness, sharpness, and dangerousness can be executed with precision. You now move like someone who is ready for anything and afraid of nothing. You have become untouchable, not because you hide from the world, but because you face it with a mind that cannot be shaken, a heart that cannot be manipulated, and a presence that cannot be overlooked. This is your final form, calm in storms, sharp in uncertainty, dangerous in silence, a force that others respect, fear, admire, and struggle to understand. You are not here to be average, you are here to be undeniable. Comment below, I am calm, sharp, and dangerous.